to the sky. Never let adventures pass you by. Be free and follow your crazy dreams. We're living our vision in the RV. Come ride with us and you'll be free.
Oh my gosh. Cold and windy. I'm gonna need this. Where's my parka?
46 degrees. Feels like 40.
Feels like 20.
We're not used to this.
Not gonna get used to it either.
This parking lot here at Cracker Barrel is completely full. Of course, it is Easter, but advantage of us being in a smaller vehicle, we just take up a regular space. Whereas a few of the RVs that were here overnight, they had to make sure they were out of here so that they could free up the spaces for other people. Crazy. You cray.
Here's Johnny.
Here we go. Brian's got his stick out the window.
Today, we're heading out to look for some more history. So we decided to call this trip the Highway to More Road Trip. Welcome to the Etowah Indian Mounds.
Is it Etowah?
Etowah.
Etowah. Okay.
Etowah.
Yes.
We looked it up. Now,
That's right. I got all confused.
We looked it up first.
I was just testing you.
Yeah, all right, okay.
But the Cherokees, the Creeks, the Seminoles, the Chickasaws, and the Choctaws are relatively recent in this part of the world. As members of the 5 civilized tribes, they are perhaps the best known of the southeastern Indians. But they were not the first to walk these woods. Between 700 and 900 AD, a new culture arose, a civilization the likes of which had never been seen in North America. This was the Mississippian era, when the great temple mounds of the southeast were built. These massive earthworks, some of them measuring hundreds of feet around at the base, were built and rebuilt over a period of many years, gradually growing taller and taller. These distinctive flat-topped earthen mounds provided the foundation for temples, for chiefs' houses, and for other buildings important to the lives of the people of the Mississippian culture. The mounds faced a large open plaza, an area that was the center of communal life in Mississippian society. The plaza served as the village commons, as a playing field, and as a place for the rituals and ceremonies that were so important to these river people. During this period, agriculture began to play a larger role than ever before. The Mississippian people became increasingly dependent on cultivated crops like corn and beans, and their homes became more permanent as they stayed in one place to tend their crops. Archaeologists have uncovered evidence of a flourishing Mississippian community. At one time, several thousand people may have lived here, in a town that surrounded a number of large mounds. The largest was the Temple Mound, 63 feet high and covering 3 acres at its base. But as rich and grand as the Mississippian culture was, it couldn't withstand the pressures that arrived from a distant land. When Hernando de Soto landed on the coast of Florida in 1539, he came with authority from the Spanish crown to conquer, pacify, and populate the land. The Indians, superior fighters that they were no match for the guns, armor, and horses that accompanied De Soto and his men. The Spanish were followed by the French and the British, who established missions and trading posts throughout the southeast. They forced the Indians not only to work for them, but to accept and adapt to European customs and beliefs. The old way of life, the Mississippian way, was destroyed.
Until studies of the late 20th century were published, most European American people in Georgia believed Etowah to have been built by the well-known historic Cherokee. But the Cherokee did not arrive in this part of Georgia until the late 18th century, 2 to 7 centuries after the mounds were constructed. Most scholars believe that the mound complex was likely built by people of the South Appalachian Mississippian culture. They are considered ancestral to the historic Muskogee, long known as the Creek people. Most of the people of the Creek Confederacy were removed to Indian Territory in the 1830s.
In the very beginning, the river was called Etowah River, and it was when the Cherokees came and changed it forever to be Etowah.
Yeah, it was
So-
just a language type difference. We start walking here. We're in what's called the Central Plaza of the village, and we're coming up on to the tallest mound, Mound A, I guess you would say. That's where the chiefs would live. Every time they would get a new chief, they would build up another level, higher and higher.
There supposedly are many foundations of places where people had lived within that city and over time. And later years, this actually was plowed over and became a working plantation. He was politically involved, so he actually had all this land and a certain section of the river here. And just to think that we're walking on so much time of history dating back from 900 AD and on, just many centuries of history. But I'm sure as we travel and everywhere we go, anywhere,
Right, it's the same.
it's the same everywhere, but it's nice to be somewhere that you know a lot of the history.
We're coming up on Mound A. It is 63 feet high. And I can't remember how many steps. I want to say he said like 160 some steps.
If you look between these wooden steps here, you can kind of see the packed down clay from the original steps.
It actually says this is 65 feet high. Not what the paper said, but anyway. Also, what I did read here is the top of the mound was farmed starting in the 1880s, causing ground disruption. And then in the 1930s, 2 dog statues were uncovered. But aside from this staircase here, the wooden one that was built in 1994, the Mound A has not yet been fully scientifically excavated. Now we're coming up on Mound B, which is like Mound A. It was a temple platform and has still not been fully excavated. Now this is Mound C, and it has been completely excavated, and they found 350 burials that were unearthed and told a lot of the classes of the people, the dress, the diet, the diseases, and trade patterns.
I get a weird feeling of disrespect just walking where someone was buried.
Their spirit isn't here anymore. Or, I mean, on the land.
Well, it depends on how they looked at it.
The Mississippian Indians inherited their name because they were known to live near creeks and rivers. Here in the Etowah River, the Mississippians built V-shaped rock weirs to pin and channel catfish, drum, and gar, which they caught in river cane baskets. Researchers have found remains of more than 100 rock weirs, and one has even been restored within the grounds of the historic site.
That's what the gentleman was saying inside. Because of all the rain the last few days, the river is pretty high. We can't see the fish trap dam that they built. So it's usually seen in late winter and spring. Or I'm sorry, summer and fall, and less effective to see during late winter and spring when the river is high. Fish trap was created by piling stones in a V shape, and then they would use large wooden baskets at the open of the V to catch bass, catfish, mussels, and turtles, and that was their diet.
Turtle, like that
The one
turtle
over
over there. It's your ancestors. Feel lucky,
Right.
brat.
Just sunning yourself.
Since we just had all this rain recently, we're not going to go down that trail. Plus, we're running out of time today. As you can see, there's a lot of standing water from that the rain we got yesterday.
But the trail does go the perimeter.
It does the whole perimeter?
Well, just on one side of the
Okay, so not the
of this.
perimeter, half the perimeter.
half the perimeter.
Half.
And I think it comes out to where we actually went across that little bridge
Oh,
at the beginning.
Come all you young rounders, and a story I'll tell of the promise of heaven and the warning of hell. But take heed where you ramble, or too soon you will go way up on the hillside where the new flowers grow.
Dahlonega, Georgia was the site of the first major gold rush in the United States beginning in 1829. The Dahlonega Gold Museum historic site, which is located in the middle of the public square, was originally built in 1836 at the Lumpkin County Courthouse.
the gold was found first up there?
Right over this area.
Oh, okay.
But the belt, this belt actually extends all the way down to Alabama up into like Maryland, and that's just the gold belt.
In 1849, when local gold miners were considering heading west to join the California Gold Rush, Dr. Matthew Fleming Stevenson, the assayer at the Dahlonega Branch Mint, tried to pursue miners to stay in Dahlonega. Standing on the courthouse balcony and pointing at the distant Findlay Ridge, Dr. Stevenson was recalled in his speech as saying, "Why go to California? In yonder hill lies more riches than anyone ever dreamed of. There's millions in it." This phrase was repeated by those miners who did make the journey to California and was shared in the mining camps of the West. Years later, the young Samuel Clemens, better known as the author Mark Twain, also heard of Stevenson's phrase. Twain was so enthralled by the phrase that he used it frequently in his book, The Gilded Age. Over time, the phrase has been misquoted to the more well-known, "Thar's gold in them thar hills." In 1829, the first documented discovery of gold was made in Georgia. As news of the discovery spread, thousands of would-be get-rich-quick men flooded into the mountains looking for the yellow metal in the creeks and rivers. At that time in history, the frontier of Georgia bordered the Cherokee Nation.
It's the Trail of Tears and moving all of these Indians from over here to the Indian lands in the west.
During the winter of 1829 and 1830, white gold prospectors began illegally crossing the Chestatee River into the Cherokee Nation in search of gold. Objections were made to the federal Indian agent in the territory, and United States troops were sent to forcibly remove the gold miners from the nation. By 1831, Governor Gilmer and later Wilson Lumpkin of Georgia realized that it was impossible to remove the thousands of miners who had intruded into the Cherokee Nation. Gilmer saw an opportunity to claim the remaining Cherokee lands as part of Georgia. So in 1832, the Georgia legislature voted to create 10 new counties out of the former Cherokee Nation without regard to their sovereignty. Lumpkin County, named after Governor Wilson Lumpkin, was created in December 1832. A year later, the town of Dahlonega was named as the new county seat on December 21st, 1833. The spelling was later changed to Dahlonega, derived from the Cherokee word meaning yellow.
We hear that it wasn't really the first, kind of is as far as a rush, but somebody in North Carolina found a nugget of gold many moons ago and used it as a doorstop.
They didn't know what it was.
It's safe to say that this remains the first gold rush. But there's all kinds of little cute shops. There's a Kilwins. Any of the touristy areas, it seems like there's always a Kilwins.
I know.
So
it was funny how you said that, though. All these cute little shops, and there's a Kilwins. I'm like, it totally is not even related.
Yeah, but that's the main focus.
It is?
We just heard they have a flourless chocolate torte. Where was it at? I will find it. Gluten-free.
Let's dig in.
Getting ready to change names, right?
Right.
Craters or Cape? What was it?
It's currently Capers.
Capers.
But they are changing to Dahlonega Brew Pub, I believe.
Brew Pub, right.
Like next week.
So their menu might completely, well, she said it's going to completely change. The only thing they may still have, and she doesn't even know that for sure, is the flourless torte that we had.
Yeah.
Which, it was okay, but it was very, very rich.
Yeah.
And we were expecting something different. There's a lot of different places to eat here. Seafood Grill here, 19 Degree North, Shenanigans Restaurant, Irish Pub over here. Just a bunch of different places.
It's a cute little town.
Yeah, we decided to give this place some business because honestly, because the tort. We saw somebody eating it and he said it was gluten-free, so flourless. So we decided to give them some business. They were not very busy at all. Michelle had to use the restroom. Right here is a law. It says, warning, under Georgia law, there is no liability for an injury or death of an individual entering these premises if such injury or death results from the inherent risk of contracting COVID-19. You are assuming this risk by entering these premises. So there's no fee if you have to go pee-pee. But just understand, the risk is all on you. Those were the restrooms back there.
And they were clean.
They were clean.
Very nice.
You didn't contract COVID?
Nope.
Okay, did you read the sign before you went in there?
I did not. I just
You
went
gotta
in.
read the sign.
What did it say?
You'll find out soon. The name of this harvest host is North Georgia Haircutters. So they have a spa also. They do hair coloring, do pedicures.
Cut pretty much any salon. So
Oh.
cuts, colors,
It's not my field.
nails, pedis, stuff like that.
Yeah. And they have an event center on the other side, which is why they have such a big parking lot here. And she was not able to build on this land, so she asked what she could do with this land. And so she was able to put an RV site here, a pad here, get electrical over there, and then also electric and water over here. No sewer. She has relatives that have RVs, so she thought it would be a good place for them to come, and then she became part of Harvest Host, and it's worked out perfect. It's very level.
Yeah. And we were going to have her do my hair, but it's so late. We got here so late, and she's already worked all day that I just don't feel comfortable with having to have her use up her evening to do my hair.
Yeah.
Out of hours, office hours. So
But
we'll just do that another day.
Right. And she's going to allow us to work here all day tomorrow, too. We'll probably just pull out of this spot because she has somebody coming tomorrow and move over to her parking lot. But we'll take a quick glance inside. We'll show you the shop. Oh, wow. Got a play area for kids, even. That's really nice. A couple tanning rooms. You got a really nice place here. Michelle's looking at products. This is her nail room.
this is a little
Kids salon.
It's, oh my gosh, that is cute. A little fire. You said you've got hair for 37 years?
37 years.
Holy cow.
Well, this
That's a long
July,
time.
37 years, and the shop is 15 years old.
Oh,
Been
really?
at this location for 3 years. It's our third location.
Okay.
And I designed the building.
I really like it.
I designed everything about it.
You should have been an interior designer too, I
I've
think.
been told that. My builder said that too. That I missed my calling.
Yeah.
And it was hard on them because I did it on draft paper and then I had a draftsman turn it into plans.
Mm-hmm.
But still, it was men reading plans that were non-traditional.
Mm-hmm.
And because I designed it for a salon, but I also
Hmm.
designed it so it could be anything else, like a
Yeah.
tire or something.
True.
It can be light industrial, it could be a dentist office.
Mhm.
Yeah. One other thing that she had mentioned, she's trying to set this up as a bird sanctuary back here. We've seen some bluebirds and some other types of birds back here. There's a hummingbird feeder back here right now. I think there's a woodpecker over there right now. There's a fire pit over here, a little gazebo here, a grill. And a bluebird went flying off over there. All the businesses around here have cameras up just to protect, their businesses anyways, but it's supposed to be very safe. We usually like to stay places where there's other people camping, but we feel pretty safe here. The electrical looks very new. We really don't even need to hook up our batteries since we've been driving there. Michelle just checked, they're at 99%, but we may just hook up just to keep them topped off and hook up the water. That way we're not using our water pump. I always get nervous about using the water pump all the time because when we first started doing this RV life, I always remember within the first month or two, our water pump went out on our big 40-foot Class A. I had to change that. They're fairly easy to change, but this one's kind of in a difficult place. I took the panel off one day and looked to see where it was located, and it looks like it'd be kind of hard to get to change it. But knock on wood, it's been good. No, didn't even mean for that to rhyme. There's plenty of room here for a big rig, that's for sure. Plenty of length. And if a second person comes, they have electric over there as well. And you can tap into the water over here.
Been tracking in a lot of dirt lately, so I'm just trying to, get all that cleaned up.
We have that little vacuum back there too.
Yeah.
On the Harvest Host site, it says 30 amp. It didn't say anything about 50 amps, so unless I didn't ask her, but there is a breaker in there for 50 amp. Here's your 50 amp breaker. You have your 30 amp breaker, and your 20 amp for your 20 amp. So to me it looks like there is 50 amp here, so you got 20, 30, and 50 amp service here. And water, no sewer.
And you pay $8 for this service, or just buy something in their salon or have her do something. Did you say that?
You still pay.
No.
She was just doing that for us.
No, I think it says either $8 or patronage or pay there.
$8 a night. That's not bad for electric and water. Michelle's still laughing over there. I can hear you giggling. We're both tired, huh?
I'm still laughing at what I said. Patronage. Yeah. Just buy something.
Seems like I hardly ever get a chance to clean this other than going to a car wash, but you need more than a car wash to keep up with all the chrome. I've been using just this Mother's chrome polish. We're not sponsors of the product. We buy it ourselves at Walmart. But you really need to keep up with the chrome because chrome pits really easy. And I still gotta get these videos all
uploaded to my hard drive. But I figured it's so cool out right now. I need to take advantage of this because these rims really need it. It's been a while since I've been able to do this. So that's what I'm doing. What are you doing? Want a beer? I don't have any. You don't have to watch. This is no fun, right? So, actually, I kind of do enjoy this. It kind of reminds me of my dad. Growing up as a kid, my dad and I I used to help him with his car, and then when I was old enough to get my own, him and I would be out detailing our cars. We were either always working on them or cleaning and waxing them.
Sometimes we need to stop to see what we have assessed. I'm grateful about everything because we have been working hard right from the very start. Now we get this far, but now it's time for us to stay out until it's late. We've come a long way, so we deserve it, mate. Call it a day and celebrate. Let's celebrate. Call it a day. Let's celebrate. Call it a day and celebrate. Let's celebrate. Call it a day.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, click that little bell, and hit that thumbs up. See you next week.